everybody, it is David and Jen here with the David Christopher's channel. We are so glad that you decided to join us, and we have do-it-yourself activity today.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, I'm sure there's people out there wanting an update on your back situation since the last video. We've had people praying for you and asking about you, so...
It is better than it was, for sure. It's still a little sore. I'm still kind of on my feet 12 hours a day, but I took 3 days there and, laid on the floor.
Only because
with ice,
that was your only option.
Propped up, correct form or whatever, and then I've been stretching and going to see chiropractor and everything that I'm supposed to be doing.
I don't think we can go any further also until you address your facial hair.
Oh, yeah. That may or may not have happened also at the same time. I think that's more due to my midlife crisis at the moment. Our oldest son, Isaiah, turned 15 on Monday. And it's weird when I thought of my oldest son as halfway to 30, I thought that's very, very strange. So I'm trying to prematurely have a midlife crisis. I'll get it out of the way now.
By shaving your beard.
And I shaved so that I would look, a little bit younger.
Are you buying a sports car next? Is that it?
Maybe. You never know. You never know.
Corvette.
Crisis.
Seems like a lot of guys do that. Okay, so moving on, you see that I have the American flag here, hint, hint, on what we're going to be doing today. We're going to focus on Memorial Day as well as 4th of July. So basically these are decor ideas for either holiday. And David has, how many ideas are we looking at today?
We're going to go through 2 or 3 different options for this holiday.
Okay.
So Memorial Day is coming up, end of May, and typically I like to think of it as post Mother's Day, post kind of mid-spring, and a lot of people in our area like to decorate for Memorial Day and keep that up through the 4th of July because you get pretty much the entire month of June instead of trying to put some things up for 3 days, July 1st.
And remember, everything that you see in our video can be found on our website, davidchristopher's.com. We sell wholesale and retail, and check out the description box, and we're going to list all of the items with the item number that's being used today, so you can easily find those on our website. And on our retail website, we make a category for you as well that's really easy to shop on the home page. You find the thumbnail for this video, and you can click there and see everything in one spot as well. So let's get started.
All right, so today we're going to start with a lot of red, white, and blue, as you can see. And the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to start separating all my flowers, and we're going to end up with a tablescape for kind of what we're going for here. But just pointing out a few of the things that we're going to be using: some ivy, some white witch hazel, some really deep blue hydrangeas, some little white wildflower, white viburnum, and a lot of red roses. Look at our driftwood baskets like I had last week, and last week I put it on the wall. But this week we're going to look at the set of 2 driftwood baskets. One thing that I really like to do with sets of 2 baskets is I use a little bit of styrofoam, and I put that in the bottom of my original basket, and then I'll stack my driftwood baskets together so that I can do something with both of them at the same time. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this rose bush and we're going to cut these off because I don't need a large amount of stem. I'm really probably going to cut most of them really short, and I'm going to cut these in to my styrofoam so that I can see the driftwood basket both on this part and on the smaller one that's on top of it. Okay, so as you can see, I've got some holes where I left some space for some other flowers because we don't want it just red. We want to add some blue and white into it as well. But you'll notice that I've got some places where I've got 2 roses, and then I've got some places where I have 1 rose, and I have some places where I've got 2 roses, one tucked a little lower, one tucked a little higher, and that helps keep them from being too uniform when you're making your design. So when we've got that the way we want it, I've already pre-cut some ivy, and I'm going to use a little bit of this in between some of my roses. So our goal here is really to make this appear as if it's fresh and everything's kind of growing out of our basket, and you have a nice table piece for your holidays. Okay, so now that we have our ivy added, we're going to start adding our hydrangeas that are this extremely dark blue color. We're going to put some of those in the top and some of those throughout the base.
I'm noticing, and I'm sure the friends at home are noticing too, that you're not really picking any of the flowers.
Yeah, I'm doing this one kind of as something that you could easily take apart and redo it for a different occasion.
So all this should be able to be easily removed, and then you could use the baskets for something else later.
Seasonal. So we could do pumpkins in this a little later, and then we could always do them for Christmas and
Christmas will be
Easter.
fun. And Christmas will be here before we know it.
Yeah, I almost tried to do fall today. Really close. Pushing it.
I can't get into the fall just yet. I want to enjoy summer a little bit.
Just a little bit.
But I mean, Christmas is any time of year, really.
Oh, Christmas is okay, but
yeah,
fall
we can
is
skip
not.
to Christmas, but you can't do fall.
Fall is not appropriate.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
I see. They're rules.
Rules.
That I did not know.
So, anyone out there have Memorial Day or 4th of July traditions? I know that a lot of times on Memorial Day, our family takes a fishing trip, and that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And 4th of July, we usually try to get together, eat some food.
I think the tradition for Memorial Day is we go fishing, catch nothing. That's usually.
We don't catch anything, typically. You're adding boxwood now?
I am. I'm adding a little bit of this variegated boxwood.
So
just
pretty.
to fill in this this top space here. So now we really need to add a few of our roses, but again, I'm tucking those kind of low. I don't want them to be the predominant force. Now we're going to add just a little bit of white in our wildflower spray here. And that is because I don't want to add a lot of white. Like I have this white Viburnum, but because the baskets are white and I've got some white on the variegated ivy and the variegated boxwood, I just want a little bit of white to come out of that. And so we're going to use this very loose wildflower spray.
You know, we always have a what does Jen think this looks like moment, typically.
Probably an octopus.
No.
Jellyfish.
No.
Some kind of sea creature.
It looks like something delicious.
Oh.
That's your hint.
Looks like
Can
a
you
cake.
guess? Yes, it looks like a cake. My favorite.
If I made cakes, they would
So-
probably turn into flower cakes.
Yes, but it looks like this is the layers of the cake and these are the flowers. So this video could double as how to decorate your wedding cake.
Well, I just know that a lot of people end up with things like baskets that are in sets of 2, and a lot of times people look at it and go, well, you know, I need one size, I don't necessarily need the other size, and sometimes you can utilize both at the same time.
We do sell these in sets to our wholesale clientele, and then for retail, you can buy the small or the large. Typically, if you're buying these wholesale, you want both sizes because
Right.
you're doing multiple projects and things with them. But for retail, you may only want the small or the large. And if you're watching this video in May of 2021, the baskets are on sale. So it's a great time to
true.
purchase those on sale in wholesale and in retail.
Okay, so now that we've got our white, our red, and our blue, I'm going to add our light blue Sedium bunch here because I just think this adds a little more depth and it makes it look a little more fresh and like it's something that's growing. And I think it'll make it look, add a little bit of dimension to the color.
And one thing I do want to mention is that we're thankful for all the men and women that fought and died for our freedom.
Absolutely.
So, in honor of them,
We're going
We
to
salute
add
you.
some flags, but the flag is a little bit short. So I'm going to use a stem that I previously cut off of because I poured everything, and I'm going to add a little bit of length to that.
oh, say, can you see?
We're going to serenade and
gonna-
do floral.
yes.
Yeah. I want to do magic tricks.
Early night.
So yours can go in here.
Can't find the foam. I mean the styrofoam. Yeah, there you go.
And then mine's a little higher, so it's going to go over here on the other side.
Ooh, that's very pretty. Very nice. I love that. You could even take this to a grave and leave it for the day, maybe for a decoration occasion. You wouldn't want to leave it.
I probably wouldn't leave it very long.
No, but if you know how some people have decorations
Yeah.
for the day, and you take something and you leave it on the grave, and then you come back and get it that evening, that would be very pretty for that as well.
Or you could take it to a barbecue. I think
Yes.
that's what I'm going to start doing if we're invited somewhere. Instead of bringing food or drinks, I'm going to bring arrangements.
But I would think someone was coming with a cake, and when it was not a cake, I would be disappointed. But
And maybe we could put like cake pops in it.
moving right along.
So now we're actually going to use a couple of medium-toned blue containers that we sell a lot of in our store. And we're going to add some reds and some whites and maybe even some blues to these to give these some more patriotic elements. And that's something that we do a lot of times for our customers is we'll change things out with the seasons. We'll sell them something and with the idea of, you know what, we can really use these for different occasions. It doesn't have to be that complicated. You know, really something you can do on your own.
I have a tote at home that just has some loose flowers in it, and I just move them around from time to time, just depending on what I need. I can go up there and grab something. And that's what these are, just loose stems. This one looks like it has been cut down a little shorter, possibly. Yeah. Is it going in this one, or are you going to put it in the other one?
I think it goes in something different.
Oh, sorry. I love the red poppy.
I do love the red poppy.
Okay, but you're using the daisies.
We're going to use something else for that. Yeah,
okay.
So for this one, I'm really just using the Sunburst Daisy, which I'm going to add all the way around for this particular one. And one thing about some of these pieces that have more flowers on them than just one or two is they really help hold other things in place. And because they're wired, you can kind of put them in and then start moving everything around really to where you want it to go. So you just kind of have to play with it for a couple minutes.
So there's no styrofoam, there's no hot glue.
Right. So it makes it easy for when you decide you're done with this look, you want to pop that out and put something else in. No problem.
And you have this smaller vase with some roses. Are you adding to it?
I think I am going to add to it.
Okay.
But first I'm going to add our blue thistle.
I love the blue thistle. It's been very popular.
I think, I'm not sure why it's been so popular, but it has become, blueberries really just in general have been very popular in the last year or so. I'm just going to add a little bit of this blue thistle just to reinforce some of the red, white, and blue here. You don't need to go too overboard.
It reminds me of like fireworks bursting.
Yeah.
Very 4th of July appropriate.
So for this, the smaller vase, I really just took one of our Fresh Touch Rosebud bundles in, and I am using this wildflower and the blue thistle, and using the bouquet that is the way it comes pre-formed to hold everything into place. So it doesn't have to be super complicated. Don't think that everything you do has to be one piece at a time necessarily. Some things you need to separate, and some things you need to just put it in and let it go and add to it. So these are finished. They've got some similar elements in them and some different things, so you can kind of coordinate and mix and match the way you want to.
Well, I'm very curious, and I'm sure other people are as well, about what this guy is doing here.
Well, this guy's here because I wanted to show you something just a little bit different with spiral topiaries. So a lot of people have spiral topiaries for their front doors on either side of front doors, near columns, different things like that. And I wanted to give you just a little bit of an idea of what you could do to seasonalize these, because most of the time people think of them as just everyday and they're just going to be green and they're going to be just like that, and they have to do something to something else. Set this to the side so that I can show you how we're going to decorate it. Just really quick, really easy. I'm going to take my poppy bundle and shorten it just a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of my variegated ivy, and of course some of my blue hydrangea and some blue thistle. We're going to put together just some little bundles so that they can go onto our topiary. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start making layers. We're going to use our longest piece of ivy here. I'm going to add a little bit more ivy to it. We're going to add white Viburnum stem, which I'm going to cut off short. And it's nice and wired, so I can kind of adjust it. And then I'm going to layer some of my poppy stems in here. I'm going to put some of my blue thistle mixed in, some a little longer, some a little shorter. You can always adjust this a little bit more later. The speed is important. Everybody has things to do. So we've got our bundle put together here, and I'm just going to use some floral taped wire, and I'm going to bundle that together and twist this as tight as I can so that it stays together. And then you can really shape it out, fill it in however you think you need to. And then we're going to add them to our topiary here. So I'm going to go ahead and make 3 of these.
On guard! This is where you play dead.
I can't do that. I won't be able to get back up.
Doesn't it look like a sword? Adjusting pole.
Yeah, more of that. But it does remind me of VeggieTales. The part of the show where Larry comes out to sing a silly song. You're Larry.
I'm
But
Larry.
we all need some Larry in our lives. Okay, so larger one, medium size, and now I'm going to make a small one.
Now I'm gonna have VeggieTales stuck in my head for the rest of the day.
It's okay, I got Larry's Water Buffalo song stuck in my head now.
How does it go?
Everybody's got a water buffalo, yours is fast and mine is slow. And then they told everybody you can't say that. And he was sad, but then he said, everybody's got a baby kangaroo, yours is pink and mine is blue. And then they were mad again because you can't say that, everybody doesn't have a baby kangaroo. It was a very tense moment in the show. Okay, then we're going to place another one. And we're going to place this one where it looks like it's making a bit more progression to the other side. You may be concerned with this space right here. It concerns me also. I added less red to my bouquets so that I would be able to go back with some of my rose pieces and go through my wire so that they would stay in. And I can add more red to my little bouquets going the opposite direction. Make sure you get it in the wire that you made for your little bouquet, and then you can be kind of complete in that particular area.
hey, this is a really unique and fun idea. I would have never thought about adding flowers to a topiary like this. And like you said, you can always change it out. You have officially decorated your first tree of the season.
One down, 1,000 to go.
I guess that's kind of not true because January you had to do trees at the showroom in Atlanta.
First tree of the spring.
If you liked our video, we hope you will subscribe and join us next time so you can learn more DIY tips and tricks, and hopefully we can make you laugh a little.
And invite us to your barbecue. You may get one of these.
Yes.